the trash off our streets. He will stand up for tenants. He will stand up to the powerful. And he'll do it with clarity, with urgency, and a real plan. We don't need more of the same. We need a mayor who's ready to build a city where all of us can thrive. Let's make that happen. I'm now looking forward to having my colleague in the City Council, Carmen de la Rosa, share some remarks as well. Brevemente en español, quiero decir que estamos muy, necesitamos un líder en la alcaldesa que nos ayude a representar los intereses de nuestras comunidades. Y para asegurar que obtengamos una comunidad que sea asequible para nuestra comunidad. Yo pienso que con el apoyo y respaldando a Zohran Mamdani, él es ese candidato para traer ese cambio. Muchísimas gracias.
Welcome to Washington Heights and to the wonderful United Palace. This is my district. This is District 10. To represent this resilient community that today welcomes our nominee, our Democratic nominee for mayor, Zohran Mamdani. Zohran is my friend, but Zohran is also a man with a plan and a bold vision for what our city can achieve. A city that centers workers, is labor in the house. A city that centers working families that believe that child care should be accessible to each and every one of us. A city that believes that tenants, the plight of tenants, needs urgency. And so today I am proud to join our congressman and join our entire community in celebrating not only Zohran's victory, but to make sure that we are ushering him into City Hall come this November. To my friend Zohran, I say welcome back. We already had Frio in Washington Heights a few days before the election, and we know that we will have many more. Muchas gracias a todos. Soy la concejal Carmen de la Rosa. Para mí es un honor poder darle la bienvenida nuevamente a nuestro amigo Zohran Mamdani, que es el nominado demócrata de la ciudad de Nueva York para la alcaldía. Le tengo que decir que yo conozco a Zohran. Conozco su corazón, conozco su trabajo y entiendo de que Zohran tiene un plan y una visión para una ciudad donde todos podamos vivir, todos podemos vivir con dignidad, donde las personas trabajadoras puedan tener un alquiler asequible, donde los niños puedan tener cuidado infantil y más que nada donde el trabajador se sienta que lo estamos escuchando y estamos resolviendo los problemas de nuestra comunidad. Así que felicidades Zohran y gracias a nuestro congresista por tomar este paso de decir presente para el Partido Demócrata, para nuestra comunidad y para nuestro amigo Zohran Mamdani. Ahora, tengo el honor de presentar a una mujer que es una luchadora en nuestra comunidad, que tiene toda una industria de choferes trabajando en las calles de Nueva York. It is my honor to introduce a woman who needs no introduction here in Washington Heights. She leads an industry of taxi drivers, for-hire vehicle drivers in our community. They are not only an economic engine here, but she has really shown her leadership as a woman who is strong and who is brave and who has been able to put food on the table for generations of uptowners for decades. La señora Cirantes.
My name is Sira Angeles, transportation advocate and owner of a legal reside in Peru. As a proud member of this coalition, I am honored to stand before you today in support of Zohran Mamdani for mayor of New York City. Yes. Our transportation systems have been left behind, the very communities that kept the city moving. Whether it's the immigrant driver operator who owns a livery base in Washington Heights, or the Medicare patient who depends on that livery base to get to a medical appointment, we need leadership that understands that transportation is more than just a matter of infrastructure. It's about equity, access, and economic survival. Zohran has shown the instinct to listen and the courage to act. His willingness to engage with and uplift the voices of small immigrant-owned gives us hope that real change is really possible. I look forward to continuing these important conversations together. We can build a more just and inclusive transportation future for all New Yorkers. Thank you, Congressman Espaillat and the leadership for the Democratic Party for convening this coalition and giving voice to our community in this important and challenging times. Mi nombre es Ida Ángeles. Soy parte de una coalición de transporte en la ciudad de Nueva York, representando el Green Base Owners en el Riverside Group. Soy un miembro con mucho honor de estar aquí en esta coalición y apoyar a Zohran Mamdani para alcalde de la ciudad de Nueva York. Por muchos años, el sistema de transporte se ha quedado atrás en las mismas comunidades donde está sirviendo y que mantiene a la ciudad moviéndose. Una comunidad de migrantes, de operadores, de familias, de bases, que transportan no solamente a nuestra comunidad, pero también a las personas que van a sus citas médicas. Necesitamos un liderazgo que entienda que el transporte es más que un simple asunto de infraestructura. Se trata de equidad, se trata de acceso y se trata también de sobrevivir económicamente. Zohran nos ha enseñado que tiene el instinto de escucharnos y el coraje de actuar. Sus deseos de involucrarse en la comunidad y con las voces de nuestras pequeñas empresas es realmente inspirador. Nuestras comunidades inmigrantes, que son dueñas de la mayoría de bases y sistemas de transporte en la ciudad, están realmente esperanzadas de que tendremos un verdadero cambio. Miro hacia adelante para continuar estas importantes conversaciones, porque juntos podemos construir un sistema más justo, más inclusivo del transporte y también del futuro de los empleados de nuestra industria y las familias que dependen de ellos en la ciudad de Nueva York. Gracias al congresista Adriano Espaillat por convenir esta coalición y a todos los oficiales electos y la comunidad demócrata que se ha unido para decir que en estos momentos difíciles tenemos que apoyar un candidato que tenga el coraje para seguir hacia adelante. Mi apoyo, nuestro apoyo es para el Zohran Mamdani. Now I have the pleasure to introduce someone that I highly respect, someone in our community that has led the National Supermarket Association for many decades, and someone who represents every single part of our fiber. He understands how we move. Mi querido amigo, que tengo el honor de presentar a Rudy Fuerte, que ha sido el presidente en múltiples ocasiones, por décadas, de la Asociación Nacional de Supermercados.
Good evening, Washington Heights. How's everybody? Professor Media. My name is Rudy Fuertes. I'm a permanent board member of the National Supermarket Association and past president multiple times. And we're glad to be here today. First of all, to understand that you guys understand that I'm coming from the supermarket business, and I've been in the business for 40 years. And one of my stores is the closest store to this location is 179 Broadway, which is my store. And I had the opportunity yesterday to speak with a founding man and the next mayor of New York, Mr. Zohran Mamdani, and to understand the projects and the programs, especially in the supermarket, the areas that we operate. And after speaking to him, I'm very proud and happy when he explained to us that he actually is focusing in areas in the desert zone with more unfortunate people live, and they try to make more affordable. And when we understand all the different rest of the programs and projects, which is aiming to making more affordable the city, which in the end help the community that we serve, I say with presence. We here with Congressman Espaillat, with 10 Congressman Espaillat, to make the connection with our industry. And we're glad and happy to be here today, saying that we endorse it for the next mayor of New York, Mr. Zohran Mamdani. Thank you everybody.
All right, good afternoon, Democrats. Good afternoon, Democrats. New York City is at a tipping point. I've been in this neighborhood since 1964. In fact, I used to come here to watch movies when it was the lowest theater as a young boy. And New York City is at a tipping point where many tenants find themselves at a landlord-tenant court fighting an eviction. I know that because I've accompanied some of them to court, where small businesses cannot pay the rent, and they find themselves with their hands strapped, shackled, fighting an eviction. Where young families cannot make ends meet, and they choose to move, Assemblyman, to places like Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and Allentown, Pennsylvania, and Waterbury, Connecticut, and Lawrence, Massachusetts. Other places where affordability gives that family, that young family, oxygen and opportunity to move forward with their newborn children. This is a city that is at a tipping point, at a precipice, unlike ever before. And so we need someone that will represent those tenants, those small business people, those families that are up against the wall without the ability to breathe, trying to stay in a city that they love and that they grew up in. So this is so important. Now, we had a robust primary. We had a tough primary. We're a party with the Democratic Party is a big tent party with different opinions, with different people from all over the world, with different subgroups that bring a lot of ideas to the table. That's what makes us a strong party. The diversity of our membership. And I will be damned if I see the party go down. We're going to make sure we unite. A united Democratic Party cannot be defeated. United as a party, we will win. And we represent as a party the best interests of those families that find themselves in landlord-tenant court. Small business people that are having a hard time paying the rent, and families that are having a hard time making ends meet. And we're under attack by Donald Trump and the Republicans. So we have no choice but to come together. I visited the detention centers, and I met with the people that are being deported. Let me tell you, they're working moms. They're working fathers, people that have never committed a crime, are now finding themselves being separated roughly from their families. That is fundamentally un-American. So that's why the Democratic Party must come together. And this is the moment where we